Ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi o, bàbá ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi. Ìbànújẹ́ o, jẹ́ kó jìnnà sílé mi. Wàá múnú mi dùn, bàbá onílé ayọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ ayọ̀ mi, má jẹ́ kó pa mí lẹ́kún. Ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi o, bàbá ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi. Ìbànújẹ́ o, jẹ́ kó jìnnà sílé mi. Wàá múnú mi dùn, bàbá onílé ayọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ ayọ̀ mi, má jẹ́ kó pa mí lẹ́kún. Good morning and welcome to Authentic Conversations with Moji. It's good to see you. Long time no see. I actually came up here today because someone sent me an inbox and I thought it would be a good idea to share it. So I asked her if she would come on the show. And she said no, she didn't feel comfortable coming on the show, but she thought her story was important to share. The topic today is how homophobia hurts us all. And it's very important to understand I'm not blaming the heterosexuals, I'm not blaming the homosexuals. I'm just bringing clarity to where we are in this journey. There's still a lot of African countries and a lot of Black churches and Black people across the globe that believe that homosexuality is an affliction, that believe that homosexuality is a choice. And it's important to understand that it's neither a choice nor is it something that can be cured. And it's important to put that out there. My name is Mojisola Wilson, and I am a certified life coach, an inclusion and diversity specialist, certified, and also a realtor. I do social commenting, because of the fact that when I was coming out of the closet, I did not see anybody, African, Nigerian, aside of Desmond Tutu's daughter, that was out as an African, not a Black American. I knew a lot of Black Americans, but I grew up with the notion that being gay was an affliction, an abomination, so I did not want to be gay. I went through 2 conversion therapies in Nigeria and 1 in the United States. I spent over 10, 15 years in church, praying, sweeping the church, fasting, believing that this thing would go away. Until I realized that it's the way I was created. There's nothing wrong with me, but the damage was already done by the choices I made along the way. So hang in tight while we wait for others to come in. Welcome back. It's Mojisola Wilson again. And like I said, the topic is how homophobia hurts us all. So a few days ago, I posted on my Facebook page that if you're a heterosexual woman, check your husband's or partner's phone and see if the app Grindr is there. And if it's there, it's not a Christian app. And I got a lot of back channels, a lot of phone calls, as a matter of fact. And this one person actually called me, a young woman that lives in Nigeria, very comfortable. I'm not going to give too much details. She's a Facebook friend. And she said she had meant to reach out to me for many, many, many months, but she didn't see the opening. Bottom line is, her story goes as follows. She met a young man that she thought was very masculine looking. She always thought gay men were very effeminate. So when she met her partner, even though he has had this long-term friend who was very close to him, the thought that he might be homosexual never came in because he's very well built. He's not effeminate. He's extremely masculine, very kind, very sweet. And, he was everything that she dreamed of. They got married. The best man at their wedding turned out to be his lover many years later. And she did not understand why the guy was sobbing, like wailing at their wedding. But she continued anyways, right? And, she said for many years, the intimacy wasn't really there. But like they went to parties together, they did everything. He cooks, he cleans. He's just your ideal man, right? And unfortunately for her and him, along the years, she noticed that, he preferred to do things that you should do with your partner with his best friend. And things like going away on vacations, she would go away with her friends and he would go away with this one man. They traveled the world together. The man was very, very comfortable. He held a high position in a corporation. I'm not going to give too much details again. So the people on my Facebook page don't know who I'm talking about, because she doesn't want to people to know who she is. Bottom line is, she had what she thought was a good marriage aside of the bedroom things, right? And she just thought it was stress. She thought it was life in, and things like that. And then she noticed many years later, about 4 or 5 years into their relationship, that they stopped having intimacy, in the bedroom altogether. But he was always kind. He was always sweet. He cooked, he cleaned, he bought her whatever she wanted. She lacked nothing but the engagement in the bedroom. Finally, she said she went to this man, to her husband, and said to her husband, "Look, I want to have children. Can we have children?" And he said, "Yes, of course." And, of course, you have to do what it takes to get pregnant. 6 months later, she found out she was pregnant. And after that, zero intimacy for another year or two. Now, most people think all gay men are effeminate and they switch their hands and they do this and they do that. But again, there's no prototype of someone that's gay, just like there's no prototype of someone that's straight. At the end of the day, the man started to get ill. He would go to the doctors by himself. He would get checked out. He brought medications home. She had no clue. Turned out he was HIV positive, but it had grown into full-blown AIDS, and she didn't know. He got on medication, but she didn't get on medication. At the end of the day, the man, she started to get sick, right? 2 or 3 years after the medication, she saw that he was taking medications all the time. And he said it was for his blood pressure. So she never checked, right? And then she started to get sick. It was malaria-like kind of symptoms. She said it was, she thought she had the malaria. Then she thought it was a cold, but she never thought to do an HIV test, because apparently the doctors that she was seeing, and I always say doctors because when you go to the pharmacy in Nigeria, you're not seeing a doctor, you're seeing a pharmacist that wants to sell their medication. So she would get ill, she would have a cold, she would have sore throat, she would have, what we call cold sores in Nigeria, but we now know is herpes around her lips and things like that. And then eventually she went to see another doctor. She switched doctors and they had her to do an HIV test. And it turned out that she was positive. And she had been positive for quite a while. She went home. She had to tell her husband. She was crying and sobbing. And he broke down and told her that he had AIDS. How did he get AIDS? How can you get AIDS, right? How can you get HIV? Let's start with that. You can get it from people that share needles, that do drugs and they share needles. You can get it. Most common way to get it is, sex. So she got tested. He got tested, right? But he already had it and he was already on medication. So now she's the one that's running around, yada, yada, yada. And she said it came to the point where she had to decide if she was going to stay or leave. And for over a year, she stayed because she didn't know where to go. She didn't know what to do. She didn't understand what was going on with her body. She didn't understand. I mean, like, who's going to touch her now that she has HIV, in her own words? And eventually, about a year ago, she left. And the gentleman left as well. Here's the deal. When we talk about homophobia in the Black and African community, very often we think it's something that's out. We think the pain and the hurt and the disgrace and the shame is what we homosexuals carry, right? But it's really not what we homosexuals carry alone. Everybody around us is going to suffer from the secrecy. Because let me tell you, I'll deal with Nigeria, which is what I know most of, right? In Nigeria, if you're caught having sex with the same gender, it's a 14-year jail term. You can't even hold your partner's hands. It's 10 years in jail. Imagine a gay person that just wants to live their life, but they cannot because It's human nature to want companionship. It's human nature to want somebody to to spend the rest of your life with. But no, I don't think I know that many people that are willing to go to jail for 14 years. Same gender marriage is illegal. It's been criminalized. Same sex engagements have been criminalized. The reason why you've often heard me say that this is a fight for all of us, not just gay people, because a lot of times what happens is that we homosexuals that are not strong enough, especially people my age, who didn't even understand what we were or are, right? Because we've been told in church that homosexuality is an abomination, it's an affliction from the devil, and all sorts, right? So what happens is that when you get to the age where people are getting married and you're the only one standing still, and if you look around you, there's a lot of people like that have the courage to stand still. And then you have a lot of people like me that were just throwing the towel and said, hey, whatever, right? We have to understand that when we support homophobia, sometimes the chicken comes to roost in our own neighborhood, in our own homes, in our own spaces. Every time you talk about gay people in a negative way, one of your children might be gay. You're pushing them deeper and deeper in the closet. Part of the problem with this kind of interactions or interacting with homophobia when you're a gay person is the fact that what usually happens is that people are doing all these things in the dark, and anything you do in the dark is not really good, because at the end of the day, you're carrying shame, you're carrying all kinds. I watched TG Jakes the documentary on TD, whatever his name is, the Nigerian guy, right? The pastor. And a lot of the people that went to him were homosexuals that were looking to be cured, and he took advantage of them. The same thing happens in real life. When you're gay and you're trying to hide, you don't pick the best partners, you just pick anybody. And like I said, this woman did not have a horrible relationship. Her relationship seemed okay. Even I know people that are in what looks like amazing relationships and their partners are gay, right? And they're engaging in really dangerous kind of intimacy with people. They're meeting people on Grindr, which is just an app just for sex, period. Nothing, no conversations, nothing. So you have people out there that are pretending to be straight, and I'm not knocking them. You have a lot of people that are in the Black community in America, in Nigeria, in Africa as a whole, that are pretending to be straight because that's what they believe society wants of them, because that's what they believe that church wants of them, right? I know you're thinking it's 2023. How can they not have the courage to come out? It's very difficult to come out in a country where you will be jailed for 14 years, allegedly. I've never met anybody that was jailed. So let's just iron that out. But it's kind of difficult to engage in a community in authenticity when society does not allow you to. So you have this young woman that's contracted HIV, not that only gay people have HIV or you can only get whatever from gay people. A lot of you guys don't understand that while men especially are trying to cure themselves, right? They tend to be they become womanizers, believing they just haven't found the right woman to make them feel whatever it is that heterosexual people feel. The same thing goes for women. And then you have to be able to open your mind's eyes to understand that a lot of people take advantage of people in the closet. You have the pimps that are getting paid to link people up with other gay people. You have straight people that are blackmailing people in high places that they'll out them. If you look at the Nigerian entertainment industry, you can tell who's gay, you can tell who's not. For us that are gay, we're able we truly are able to recognize each other. There's this energy called gaydar that people give off. And a lot of times, if you know me, I engage with people on the thread, and most people that are gay suffer from, that are in the closet, in the hiding, you'll find that they're the ones that attack gay people that are out. I'll repeat. Most people that are venomous, that are so against homosexuality, they themselves are gay because it's an internalized homophobia that they bring to the other person, where they're crucifying somebody else that's just living their lives. At the end of the day, most people just want to live their lives, to live their authentic life, to be able to thrive in society, to be able to engage in a loveship, right, with some consenting adult. No one is asking for permission. No, nobody should have to ask for permission to be who they were created as. And mind you, homosexuality is not all we homosexuals are. The young lady that was in my inbox told me that her partner, her husband, was very kind, very loving, attentive, gave her pretty much everything she wanted. She drives a nice car, da 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 da. And he's always attentive. The only difference is that the romantic piece he showed to his best friend. Somebody also asked me on a thread once, how do you know if somebody is gay? You kind of just don't know. How about you just ask, are you gay? If you think your partner is gay, just ask the question, are you gay? When you see your partner over engaging with his best friend, man or woman, just ask, are you gay? And part of the reasons why people hide is because of the stigma. It's because of the embarrassment. It's because of the shame. It's because of the self-loathing. A lot of us go through that. That's why you'll find more gay people in church than you do in a nightclub, because most are trying to buy salvation from being gay, because church has taught us that being who we are is a sin. Being who we are is an abomination, irregardless of your accomplishments, irregardless of what you've contributed to society. So at the end of the day, how does homophobia hurt us all? Homophobia hurts straight people, I'll tell you, in ways that you can't even imagine. First of all, you have gay people marrying straight people because they don't seem to think they have a choice. Even if the same gender marriage law is abolished today, we now have to retrain gay people to start to think of themselves as worthy of love. This is a process I went through, right? We have to start to understand that if we, society, do not give space for gay people to be themselves, right? Straight people are going to suffer. I've said this for many years. I mean, I shared this young woman's story because she asked me to. And I'm telling you, there's many, 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 many. There are even women that know that their partners are gay, effeminate, and flamboyant. There are women that have been told that, the guy tells the woman, I am gay. And they'll be like, oh, no, we can pray it away because church told them they could pray it away. Sometimes they'll tell you, oh, don't worry about it, when it's because you've never met me. I've interviewed a lot of gay men in my lifetime, and those that are married, a lot of them have said they told their partners. So if you straight people think you can cure gay people from being gay, could they work? It's not possible. People cannot be cured of being gay. You can choose to live a lie, which many of us did in the past. And then when you come out, society that's supposed to support you and give you shuku for coming out will tell you, oh, no, you should stay in the closet. You just don't have to be gay. It's like somebody coming to you, a heterosexual person, and saying, no, you don't have to be gay, don't have to behave. It's like, will it work? It doesn't work, right? How do we beat this thing? How do we curb this thing? How do we create a space for people to be just authentically themselves? You guys need to speak to more gay people. You need to get to know more gay people. All we are is not just gay, right? This young lady said her husband is very caring. He holds a high position, flying job. He's very intelligent. He's very sweet. He goes to church every Sunday. So it's not about him not believing in God or him being possessed by the devil. It's about the fact that he is gay, right? And should gay people be allowed to be happy? Of course. I don't believe in deception. I really don't. I don't think lying to people is the way to go. At the same token, if society pushes your back against the wall at some point, you'll break. You will break. And for the straight gay people that are listening, my theory in life is, if you want to be able to be the best version of yourself, you cannot be in hiding with your sexuality. It's just going to destroy you. It's going to ruin you. Depression will fall in. Lack of self-esteem will fall in. Low self-esteem will override everything. Imposter syndrome will come in. And then you start making irrational decisions. I know, I've been there. A lot of your decisions will be made based on coming from a place of insecurity, coming from a place of not understanding who you are, not taking the time to study who you are. What do I want from life? How am I? What am I? Who am I? Right? Until you take the time to study yourself and then stand in your truth, I don't believe you can get the keys to your promised land, because you'll forever be engaging in habits that are detrimental to your soul, to your health, to your mental stability. So gay people are being hurt by homophobia. Straight people are being hurt by homophobia. A lot of people's children are gay and they can't just deal with it. And they're not allowing their children to be themselves. I'm not telling you to go and allow your 10-year-old or 5-year-old or I don't deal with minors. I don't talk to minors at all, because I don't think a minor has the opportunity to be able to discern what is going on around them. And they're not able to drive, they're not able to vote. So why are we even talking to people that are underage? So that conversation I don't have with young people. I'm talking about adults, full adults that know who they are. Right? Once you know who you are, it's very important to understand that when you go into a relationship, disclosure, disclosure, disclosure. Tell them who you are, tell them where you've been if you can. But if heterosexuals are not giving us the space and giving us the room to be able to do that, there's quite a number of people that are fine, especially women. There's a lot of men that think that they're your savior, and they'll go into a relationship with you or a marriage with you. And as you all know, a lot of men have this fantasy of sleeping with two or more women at the same time, right? For us, it seems to be a lot easier. It's the men that people tend to have a lot of problems with. And until society at large starts to fight for the human rights of everybody, I think you guys, heterosexuals, will continue to have that issue. My heart breaks for this young woman that is now living with HIV, right? My heart breaks. I hope you're intelligent enough to know that being gay is not, HIV does not only come from gay people, right? HIV comes from people that are having stupid, unprotected sex, gay or straight. As a matter of fact, in Nigeria, there's more HIV cases in the heteronormative world. And I'm going to not deny the fact that it's probably that very high because of the fact that there are more gay men in the closet in Nigeria. There are more gay politicians. There's a lot of gay influencers, and they're flamboyant. But as long as they don't say they're gay, you guys are cool with it, right? As long as they don't say they're gay, that's a hypocrisy of our culture that I don't understand, And people always expect the gay man to be effeminate and act like a woman. No, there's a lot of gay men that are well built and masculine and macho, and then you have those that say they're not gay, which are the down low guys, but they enjoy having sex with men. And before anybody comes on this thread and talks about sodomy and all that, straight men and straight women, they have anal sex. So that's absolutely not what makes a person gay. For you to be a gay man or a lesbian, you must be erotically, physically, and emotionally attracted to the same gender. There are people that are just freaky and like crazy type of things, S&M. That's not my topic today. My topic is strictly for people that know that they're gay. They're emotionally, erotically, and physically attracted to the same gender. There's nothing wrong with you. If you're out there and you can hear me and you're gay, nothing wrong with you. But, society tends to judge our moral compass and sometimes our integrity by the fact that we're gay. There are more gay people doing amazing things out there that you guys know. Unfortunately, the people that you follow, the people that a lot of you follow, which is part of your heterosexual problem, right? They're entertainers. They do crazy things to get your attention. They're not really gay. There's a lot of gay people that are lawyers and doctors and, dentists and Mama Shukura that sells akara or Yatemedu that does clothing. I get a lot of those back channels. I get a lot of people. Last week on IG, there was a woman that came into my inbox and said, I'm not gay, but my daughter is gay. Seeing you and your wife helps me to understand that being gay is not going to hold her back. That's a Nigerian woman. But visibility is important because gay people themselves, when you straight people have told us that we're an abomination, when we go to church and we're shunned, there was a church I was going to, and every time I stepped in, after I came out, the pastor would change his sermon to homosexuality every bloody time. And guess what? The same pastor had turned out to be gay himself, because I met somebody that he was shagging, and then eventually, the rumor came out in church because the guy came out and displayed mental, his lover. We have to be very careful how we speak about homosexuals. We have to be very careful how you, heterosexual Black people, African people, we don't get a lot of this from white people. Most of the homosexual trolling that I get is from gay people that are in the closet, and it's from a lot of Black people and Black pastors. Half of the people in your church, well, that's a lot. At least 30% of the choir, 30% of the people that you see that are dedicated to coming to church every day, a lot of them are gay. And they do come to church, they serve God, they do this because they think God will cure them. The young woman that gave me her story to tell you, her husband goes to church every Sunday, he donates, he's very kind, he's very sweet, he buys her whatever she wants, she does not lack anything, and he's macho, and yet he's gay. That goes to show you that you can't judge who's gay and who's not. But we can all come from a place of empathy. We can all come from a place of humanity first. Live and let live. The more we leave room for people to be their authentic self, the less we always suffer. If you have any comments, leave it below. I'm sorry I was late today. As always, when I have an important topic, life starts to life. So leave a comment, share the video, back channel me stories. I love to hear stories. I'm a certified life coach. I'm not a therapist. I don't coach people in how to be gay at all. I coach people in how to be successful in life. And that includes all aspects of your life, because people are not just gay. We are more than gay, right? People are not just lesbians. We're a lot more than lesbian. Most of us hold jobs. Most of us are trying to live a life of integrity and contribute to society. But until the whole heterosexual community starts to learn that they too will suffer with homophobic laws and homophobia in the air 24/7, we're not going anywhere. There's only allegedly 10% of gay people in the world that have raised their hands. So when you join the movement, right, humanity first, guess what? Now you will be able to attract that person that's for you, and not some gay person that's trying to hide in the closet, right? Again, I'm not sanctioning people marrying the opposite gender under false pretenses. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we all need to work together so we can create a much better world for everybody, for everybody. My name is Mojisola Wilson. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this message resonates with you. And even if it doesn't, leave a comment, right? My pages are all inclusive. My name is Mojisola Wilson. It's good to see you. Be careful out there. Love yourself. Understand that self-love first is the most valuable thing that you can have. And if you're a gay person out there, understand that if you believe in God, God created you as you are, and you deserve the best in life. Even when the law here in America did not permit same genders to get married, I met a couple that have been in a relationship for over 30 years, right? If you want society to change the way they see you, you also need to change the way you present yourself. The Naked Brigade is out there doing all kinds of scoing. I just didn't want to be gay. I'm not going to lie to you. In the beginning, when I first realized I was gay, I didn't want to be gay. Then I had to admit to myself that I am gay. And I started to walk with my shoulders up. It was tough, very tough. We're talking, what, 10, 20 years ago? It was very tough. But I stood my ground. And here we are today, where everybody on social media can talk about whoever, whatever. There wasn't even any social media. There was barely cell phones. So know that you're out there. Know that you can do a lot of research. Know that you as a gay person have a right to be happy. You as a gay person has a right to respect yourself and stop giving yourself to every Tom, Dick, and Jones. And if you're a straight person, Understand that being I hate to use the word, a person that just loves gay people. You can love us from afar, but you don't have to marry us. You don't have to be the one sacrificial lamb, right? If you think your partner is gay, ask them. Because nobody can tell you who's gay and who's not. Gay people, we have a way of recognizing each other, right? There's an energy that we give off. I can't even explain it. But if you're straight and you meet somebody, ask, especially in Nigeria, if you're a guy, especially, ask them. You see women, best friends, they wear the same clothing. The one friend is buying the other one Mercedes Benz, and the husband is going, God has blessed us. Yeah, he has. God has blessed you in more ways than one. Everybody deserves to be happy. Everybody deserves love, right? Be who you would like to be to somebody else. Give them space to be themselves. Humanity first. Today, I ask you guys to be kinder. Just be kind to each other, straight, gay, or indifferent. Just understand that those of us that are gay did not create ourselves. And this is not an appeal. This is not, I'm begging you to accept me. I don't need your acceptance. I have been through so much in my life that even some of my children are not here because I'm gay. And I choose to stand still, stand firm in my skin. And to all of you guys that are jumping up and down, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, honey. You got to be more than gay. You got to bring value. You have to bring value to the table, any part of the world you're in. So if you think being gay is your whole life, then you have a problem. You do. You need to do better. And visibility is key. For those of you guys that can stand up tall and say, I am who I am, please do that. Because we need more representation. It can't just be, a particular man that is transitioning, that shakes the rear end on social media. When parents or people see that, they think that's who we all are. We need more representation out there. So if you're able to stand up tall, do that. Live your life. Everybody cannot be an activist. I'm not an activist. I'm living my authentic life. And as long as I'm living my authentic life, that's all that matters to me, and I'm not harming anybody. We all have to do better on both sides so that we can create a better world for all of us. My name is Mojisola Wilson. Again, thank you for joining me. Authentic Conversation is the live chat. I hope to see you guys again soon. Namaste.